President Trump's interview with the New York Times, certainly raising a lot of questions. Let's turn to John Hudak, joining us live from the Brookings Institute here in Washington, D.C. He is the Deputy Director of the Center for Effective Public Management and a Senior Fellow in Governance Studies. John, welcome to the program. So much to talk about. In this interview, as Owen mentioned, Trump basically criticizes Jeff Sessions, saying, you know, if he had known the Attorney General was going to recuse himself of the Russia investigation, he would have never picked him for the job. And he says Sessions' actions very unfair to the president. So my question to you is, what does this say about his respect for an independent Justice Department? And isn't the President of the United States supposed to put national interest above self-interest?
Well, I think the president's comments with regard to Attorney General Sessions just reinforces the point that the president only has loyalty to himself. He doesn't have loyalty even to some of his earliest supporters. And I think there's a lot to criticize Attorney General Sessions for with regard to his policy choices in the first 6 months of this administration. But the problem the president has the most is over an issue where Jeff Sessions made the right call in recusing himself from this investigation. And it shows just how upside down the thinking in this administration truly is.
And my colleague, Owen Fairclough, is sitting in the studio with me, and he's got a question for you as well.
John, yeah, it's Owen Fairclough here. You may have seen a couple of White House advisors talking to Associated Press and saying that really this wasn't a calculated attempt by Donald Trump to try and force Jeff Sessions out of his job. What do you think about that?
Oh, I think whenever a president, Donald Trump or anyone, makes comments like the president did yesterday about the Attorney General, it is a clear signal to that appointee that the president is done with that individual. My guess is the way that this usually plays out is when a president makes comments like that, that next day the individual will submit a letter of resignation to the president, and it is, of course, up to the president to accept it or not. And I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff Sessions at least communicates to the president soon that he's willing to resign if the president wants to. But what that would do is set up a real challenge for the administration, because you would have then an acting head of the Justice Department in a temporary position, and then create a confirmation battle in the Senate, where the Senate is already dealing with crisis. It is down one senator right now as John McCain deals with illness, and the president does not need to go through a confirmation battle right now, but it looks like he's aiming for that.
John, I know President Trump is certainly not a conventional president, but how unusual is it for the U.S. president to publicly question, criticize, basically throw under the bus his Attorney General, his Deputy Attorney General, former FBI Director, and Special Counsel Bob Mueller?
It's really unheard of for the president to take such aggressive rhetorical action toward these top officials in the Justice Department. Typically, a president is more of a gentleman about this. He sees a situation that he dislikes, and he goes to those individuals and says, please submit your resignation, or frankly, I'm going to fire you. But to air this laundry out in public is something that may be unconventional, but I think in any professional setting, whether it is a small business or the American government, there's a better way to do this. There's a more respectful way to do this. And the president is really trampling on that sort of norm and that level of respect that individuals expect from him.
John, we're running out of time. I have to ask you a quick question on health care. What's going to happen to this bill? Is it going to be repeal and replace, or simply repeal? We've heard some confusing statements, contradictory statements from President Trump.
Yeah, it's unclear what the new bill is going to be. It looks like Mitch McConnell wants to put a flat repeal without replace up for a vote, but I think no matter what Mitch McConnell puts to vote, it's absolutely going to fail.
All right, we'll leave it there. John Hudak, thank you so much.